tease, I said this is a different looking Giants offense, and they're doing everything in their power to try and help their quarterback with the way that they're running the football and then the skill players that they have. I think everybody in the league is kind of taking notice of what Malik Nabers is, and what he was able to accomplish not only at LSU but then here in the National Football League. When you look at the number of targets, the routes he runs, all these things are top of the league when you start to talk about just not only receiver, rookie, but just receivers with the way that he's playing. And the thing that makes him so unique is his ability to play at all levels. You can throw the ball to him quick. You can throw the ball to him intermediate on crossing stuff. And then you can go down the field with this guy. And Daniel Jones sometimes isn't very accurate.
Sometimes.
This guy makes Daniel Jones accurate with the way that he goes and gets the football.
Bad ball catcher.
Yeah.
He
is a bad ball catcher for sure. And so, he's the guy that you're definitely going to have to worry about. I checked with some folks before Krusty's Corner asking about the availability of Carson. Carson is legitimately a game time decision. So we'll see how Dallas plays that, with having to deal with Nabers. But they're also going to have to deal, I think, with Wan'Dale Robinson. And what they do with Wan'Dale Robinson is, as a wide receiver, he tends to line up in the backfield. He'll play in the slot. He'll play out wide. They'll throw him the ball on screens. So now they've got a guy with like Nabers that can kind of work in all levels. They got a guy like Wan'Dale Robinson who can catch the ball very well, but he does it from different platforms. You can put him in the backfield, like I said, and throw the ball to him on the screen or throw him on a swing, and he's going to make things happen. He's a very good catcher of the football. He's very comfortable on third down when you throw it to him, making plays. So you'll have to deal with that. The third receiver I'd kind of be a little bit concerned about is Jalen Hyatt, from Tennessee, the second-year player from Tennessee, because he is a vertical player, and he's the guy that can run right by you. And we saw what happened with the Saints, with their Shaheed and the vertical player that game. If they want to take a shot, it's going to be Jalen Hyatt's the one that's going to be the guy that's going to get the opportunity. So those are the three wide receivers that I would worry about. I'm not overly concerned about their tight ends, even though they use them all in the way that they play. But primarily they're like underneath players or blockers. They're really not anything. In the past, the Giants have had some tight ends that have been pretty good, but this crew is just kind of pretty standard for a roster. The offensive line, they brought in a bunch of different guys. They've tried for years to draft this offensive line, and it hasn't worked out for them. But the one guy that I think you kind of need to be a little concerned about is the center, John Michael Smits.
Don't tell me that.
John Michael Smits is a very athletic center. They use him in the pulling game. They use him in the second level stuff, screen stuff. He is the most athletic guy of the group that I felt like. But the guy you need to kind of take advantage of, I believe, is the first round pick, the left tackle, Andrew Thomas.
And Mike has eaten him up in previous matchups.
He has. And I'm interested to see how many of those tight ends they put over on that side to try and help him out here, or how many times that they chip with, say, Tyrone Tracy or somebody like that over there. But Andrew Thomas is the one guy that has the most problem, I think, with speed. And he has a bigger problem when people take him down inside on the pass rush. If you can get inside on this guy, I don't think he's quick enough to cut you off from getting to the quarterback. So left tackle Andrew Thomas that's the guy I think you need to go after. But be aware, like I say, of John Michael Smits, the center, because they will get him out in space. And the Cowboys have had some problems when they've gotten blockers out in space on them the last couple of weeks.
So he's figured it out now, because he was the draft crush 2 years ago, as you know, and he struggled a little bit as a rookie.
He did. He struggled a little bit as a rookie, but he looks a lot better than he has in the past.
Oh, crap.
Daniel Jones, there's still some issues with Daniel Jones at quarterback, but they're trying to help him. make him feel more comfortable against Cleveland. He got the ball out very quickly. They're not afraid to throw it into the flat or just underneath just to get it out of his hand. He still has a problem, though, when you watch him play, he'll throw to spots. And I don't think he always sees where the coverage is. Now, can you get him to throw the football? That's going to be the trick for the Cowboys this week. Can you make him have to be a passer in this game? Because if he has the ability to run and use the running game, then he's a lot better quarterback. But when he has to throw the ball a bunch, that's going to be a problem for him. And I mentioned the spots. We all remember where the Cowboys this summer and what they were doing in training camp with disguisings of the defense. You know, if they can get into a situation where it's pass rush and coverage, then maybe you can get Daniel Jones to throw you a ball or two, just because he doesn't read coverage, I think, all that well. There are a couple different times where you're like, man, he just did not see that guy standing there. So if Mike Zimmer can get him into that situation where maybe fool him on some looks, maybe give him a cover 2 look and then drop that safety down into the hole, and he'll try and maybe throw the ball there to that spot, then you might get an interception out of him. I think the real big difference, this team lost Saquon Barkley, but this Devin Singletary, I didn't know much about him. I'd seen him play at Buffalo. I didn't remember much at Houston.
Yeah.
This kid's a legitimate player. Mm-hmm. I'm calling him a kid. He's really not a kid. But he is a legitimate player when you look at him and watch him. And they like to hand him the ball, and then the next thing you know, you're watching the tape, and they hand him the ball, and it's a 5-6 yard gain. He can make the first guy miss. You could toss it to him. You could throw it to him. They throw screens to him. And this guy's got some finish to him. He's got, like I say, the ability to make you miss. Be a tough guy to bring down.
Second best yak in the NFL at the running back position.
It's crazy how well he's played for them, but he's
he looks strong and fast. He's got
quick.
The traits.
He's so quick, and that's something that they've struggled with Saquon Barkley, being healthy in a lot of these games against Dallas.
Yeah,
this guy looks legit.
But you can tell they've orchestrated and worked on running, and now
trying.
He's benefiting. Do you feel like they're committed to running the ball more than in recent years?
I feel like they really are, but they're trying to help their line too with the pin and pull stuff, combination blocks. They're not asking their guys to block a lot of one-on-one. They're trying to kind of get some angled blocks and allow these guys to not have to deal with just holding on to blocks, because in the past that's got them in trouble with some holding calls and things like that.
How physical are they?
Pretty physical group, because they're not the best. They're kind of a boxy group, and I mean boxy in a way of guys like John Runyon, kind of square. The center's the smallest guy, but they kind of got some size to their line. But when they get out in space, but this back, it takes advantage of kind of getting tucked in behind these linemen when they block, and then he makes some things happen. They ran the ball pretty decently from the film. Looking at the Browns game,
they did.
With I was surprised, but Daniel Jones will run the ball too. You're going to see some RPO stuff from him.
Yeah,
they have design runs. I know last week we talked about with the Ravens quarterback there. There's design runs in this offense too. It's pull the tight end across, and then all of a sudden everybody's blocking down, tight end across, and now they're running just quarterback power going to the left.
Mm-hmm.
So,
at some point teams change from, hey, let's develop this quarterback in the pocket, let's keep him healthy, to everybody's playing for their jobs, and the quarterback's like, I'm playing for my job too. Can I run, please?
Yeah, they were trying to get rid of him. So they're not trying to preserve Daniel Jones.
No, they really don't. And so Singletary, Tyrone Tracy, he's a rookie. They picked in the 5th round. I mean, they throw him the ball too. But Daniel Jones, like I say, they're trying to do everything in their power not to have to make him make a bunch of throws. But when he throws the football, Malik Nabers is more than ready to catch it. Wan'Dale Robinson is more than ready to catch it too. And then, like I say, you have to be worried about the Jalen Hyatt on the vertical routes, because they saw Dallas give up one and I have a feeling that we're going to see a couple deep shots against this secondary on Thursday.
Well, 3 games in a row against a running game that could gash you for $150. We'll see how much.
Well, the quarterback
Cowboys
runs
have
too.
learned.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You get a running back and a quarterback that both can run. And
maybe I should go 225 then. My bad.
Yeah, I mean they're off a very, very poor tackling performance, and Singletary's the best back in the sport at forcing missed tackles.
Yeah.
So they're going to have their hands full.
It sounds like you described roughly 27 points against this Cowboys defense to me.
I think when I was on DallasCowboys.com, I picked it. What did I say? 26-23 is what I picked.
Wow.
So I picked the Giants.